Simulation of spring mass damper system. Here we are going to see first making a mathematical model and then we are going to simulate it using Scilab. So quickly let's see what example we are having. A machine mounted on ground. It's a basic model is here. We can say it is having mass m, stiffness k, damping is c. When this machine is stand still, we can say there is no force, so there is no displacement inside it. As soon as we are going to apply force on it, this is going to having some displacement. So let's say I am pushing it for forward direction. So F, so we can further having that X amount of displacement is there. When this is there, displacement is there. So this spring try to stretch itself and going to produce resistive force Kx, that is also called as spring force. Similarly, the damper will show its resistive force as C into dx by dt, damping force. Now our first step is to find net force acting on the body. That is equal to F minus Kx minus C dx by dt. When net force is there, the body tries to move itself. We can further add that this much amount of force is required to make this body in acceleration. So we are going to equate this net force equal to inertia force, that is m into a, or m into d2x by dt square. Now further I can write m d2x by dt square is equal to f minus kx minus c dx by dt. On rearranging this, we can get m d2x by dt square plus c dx by dt plus kx is equal to f. Here we have received a second order standard equation, as its higher order is 2. So it's a second order differential equation that can represent our given system. We can find its output by solving the second order equation, and also in another way we can simulate it by using xcos. Now For simulated, we need to first change it in such a manner like m d2x by dt square is equal to f minus c dx by dt minus k into x. Further, I can also write d2x by dt square 1 by m f minus c dx by dt minus kx. I can also write it as x double dot is equal to my 1 by m f minus c into x dot minus k into x. Now this equation is ready for using xcos xcos console of Scilab. Further, now I am going to arrange a model in xcos. Here you can see I have opened Scilab 6.10 console. Now I need to open my xcos by writing xcos command. Here we are opening two windows. One window is called palette browser window and second is called xcos window or untitled xcos you can say. This is quite similar, very much similar with Simulink of MATLAB. Now in this case, we are going to arrange all these blocks just by dragging it. So now one by one we are starting. Our first component was x double dot. So for that I am going to take one integral block. Input to it is x double dot and output to it will be x dot. This further needs simplification, so I will require one more integral block and output of that block is simply x. Now my next term was c dx by dt. So c is a multiplier. So I need to select one multiplier or we can say gain that is available in mathematical operation. I can take gain block, right clicking, format, rotate and again mirror. Here I can write in front of it is C. Similarly, our next part was kx. So one more I will be requiring. Now we are having two gain block. Here I can write it as its block is K. It's visible. Now we'll be requiring one summing point where all these are to be added. So we can take one summing point. Yes, summing is there. It's like this. So I can just right click and mirror. So right hand side part almost I am having, and let's starting connection also. I am connecting it. Similarly, I am also connecting it to now connection of this to this one. Port already connected. Issue, it's showing no issue. We are taking another one. Now we can take it. Yes. So now you can see x dot, then multiply by c, and its output will be c multiply by x dot as our equation was there. Now connecting this to this, and we can write here. Then here we are adding k multiply by x. So here we are having c dx by dt plus k into x. Now our equation was f minus c dx by dt minus k x. So we need one minus to this. So for that I will be requiring one summation block. The plus, if it should have plus or minus. If we are having suppose one here, I need to put minus here. So now I need to connect this summation into big sum block. Now you can see we are having minus c dx by dt minus kx. Here one more port is there. Here I need to put input force. So I need to take one input force here. In case of input forces, we can take assume that we are taking step input as our response. So I can take it from sources. This can be ram or jerky force or tooth force, impulsive or step one. I'm just taking a step. Even once your diagram is clear with the step, after that we can make a different type of inputs, and then we are going to see the outputs. That what our requirement is, simulation. By making changes in input, we are going to see their effect. Now I need to connect it. So I am ready with f minus c dx by dt minus k dx by dt. Now only thing is that remaining one multiplier, that was 1 by m. So now again I need to take from mathematics block one multiplier or gain block. I am writing here it as 1 by m. Now connecting it. Now basic circuit is completed. We are having d2x by dt square is equal to 1 by m multiplied by f minus c dx by dt minus kx. Now here I want to see the output. So for that we will be requiring one display window, and the display window in XCOS is called as C scope. So it will be available in C scope. Here I am taking it. And remember, we are having two inputs. One I need to add from this circuit, and another is to drive it. So that's why these are called as event driven block. So for it I need one event handling system that is available as clock. Now I need to connect it. Yes, so I can write it here as output display. Now our system is ready. Now we can easily check the performance of our given system. Here we are taking one by one, that what will be input, what will be output. So like I can take first case as where I am taking mass is equal to 1. Initially we can see that if suppose we are having no damper in the system, so C is equal to 0. I can take initially K is equal to 1. This type of system is called as undamped system. Let's change the values. Now I'm putting C is equal to 0. So when there is no resistance, how the system is going to behave? Before simulating, let's see, check how output will be. This is our output window where I can see y min is minus 15, y max is 15. We are having almost unit in all cases, so I am reducing it to 0 to 2. Accordingly, we will change. Now I can see the output. Yes. So here we can see the continuous sinusoidal. This means if I applied one step input force and how the system is going to behave, only moving up and down direction. If I connect one pen with that and I want to take plot, so this type of plot I am going to generate. Here you can see you are not able to see the input. That we can also do. Now quickly see what are the different cases. Now if suppose in case 2, if I take same value of mass, case 2, m is equal to 1 I am taking. Now c I am increasing equal to 1 and stiffness having same. So this type of system is called as critically damped. Change value of C here. This is the beauty of our software. Quickly we are changing input parameter and immediately we are able to see the output. Yeah. So this type of response we are going to get. Here you can see that after certain period it's going in steady state. Now we have in this end, if I compare to previous one, in the previous one we are having no resistance, but here the magnitude is going to diminish or it comes in steady state. Now let's take our third case, case 2, where I am taking mass same, that value of C. Now let's take is more than 1, let's take 1.5, and K is equal to 1. When value of C is more than 1, in that case this type of system is called as overdamped. What? Overdamped system. Now change parameter here. I have changed value of C. Now let's see how output is going to. Again different behavior. Now in case 4, when mass value is same, value of C I have counted as less than 1, 0.5 I am taking, stiffness I am taking same. When value of C is less than 1, in that case it is called as under damped system. How it's going to behave? Yeah. So here we can see how our responses are changing and stabilizing. Here you can see this is a combination of two type of responses. First part is called as transient response and another part is called as steady state response. Here we have seen four type of cases. One thing that in whenever I am displaying, we are going to see only one response. But what if someone says that I want to see the response of force also? So for that I need to connect it to my display window. For connection from here it's not directly possible. So for connection we are taking one another component from signal routing. Signal routing and it is called as MUX. Here it is 11. Yeah. Now I can if connect my input to one port of MUX and output to another port of MUX and the output terminal of MUX to my display. In that case, how I am going to see both in one graph. Here we can see the green is output and one black line is input. So with this, it's on you users and whether you want to display both or many input at a time or not. Okay.